go ahead and get this meeting going. Go ahead and call the city meeting for Thursday, July 11th, 2015, 7 o'clock, Alburnett City Hall. In order, do we have a first?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, when Lynn County Sheriff's Department comes, we'll get them in. Fire Department? Anything?
No, I don't have anything.
Okay. Lions Club.
Jim stopped in, he's not ready.
Okay.
So
All
we'll
right.
figure it out.
Okay. Matt, I guess you're up.
I guess I don't have anything specific to talk about tonight, but I know there's some storm sewer issues up.
Which
I'll sit around for some guy speaks on it. But, other than that, I guess I talked to Jason, the engineer for Rex, and he's still working on getting the stormwater calcs and all the testing that they've done for the street up there. They'll have concrete tests, as well as the as-built plans where they're showing where it changed from the original design. So I guess I'm just waiting on those from him, I guess. Eventually here you'll have to go through the process of getting the final plans and everything approved. We're not at that point yet anyway. So.
At this point, everything with that plan looked okay?
Yeah, I didn't have any issues at this point. I mean, most of it was, you know, it's kind of hashed out when we had gone through their plat, I guess, as far as water main and sanitary sewer. So.
The only thing I noticed is they got fire hydrants on backwards.
Well, they can actually rotate those around.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, those things will be I seem to be on their final punch list to get fixed. But yeah, of course they put them in. They didn't have the street up there, so maybe they didn't even know which way they were supposed to put it. Other than that, I can speak a little bit when we get down to maintenance report.
Okay. All right. Any other questions for him? And that will go. Lynn County Sheriff's Department, you're up.
That's quick.
Catch your breath. Looks like required 43, we put in 59.9 and 26 calls of service. Doesn't look like anything out of the ordinary.
So what does fraud and deception boil down to be?
Somebody could have called in and say somebody got a hold of their credit card information or banking account information. Basically, their bank needs a report.
Never mind.
Okay.
I didn't realize you guys handle that. I figured you just get it with the bank, and then the bank would get a hold of the legal people.
Bank wants us to check into it.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
Okay.
just more paperwork.
Gotcha.
Everybody's got a finger in the pie.
There's nothing else. There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Hey, Dad, you're up.
Alright, just wanted to let you know we are doing benefit day. There's not any signage out yet for it. Waiting on a lot of people to get back information to me so I can get the posters done. So we'd still like to do our usual, block the street off there at Dave Reed's and then the bus barns so that downtown's locked down, and then we'll finish off the evening with a dance, or the street dance and a band. We're gonna do human foosball this year. Do you have a picture? Human foosball.
For kids or what?
No, it's teams. Teams of 6. You can sign up the day of. There's a group of gentlemen from D&D that's putting some little carnival games together for kids, and that's human foosball. So it looks pretty entertaining. We're gonna have that on Main Street on the other side of the dance fence. And then H&H and concession stand for a little while and the usual, the usual stuff. Nothing seriously is changing. Yes, Steve?
I don't know if you're gonna do with this fireworks, or did I miss that?
No, Diamond Club, that's done by private citizens. So, we don't,
That's got nothing to do with it.
no, I mean, we're aware of it and Rena comes to the Diamond Club meetings and keeps us posted, but as far as, like the planning of it and getting the money around and all that stuff, it's all through private people.
I have your packet here,
Oh, okay, great.
your special event permit, your, oh, severe weather thing, I know you need proof of security, proof of porta potties, agenda for the day, a map, and waivers.
Okay. Oh, the waivers for,
Waivers.
well, we do waivers that I keep on hand for a year on, the insurance requires us to have waivers for the softball tournament. And then they have to sign waivers for, the poker run will be 2 weeks following benefit day that coincides with benefit day. The bikers and cars have to have waivers signed. But other than that, that's the only thing that the insurance company requires us to have waivers on.
Give us a copy of the waivers you can hand out, so we know waivers
Oh.
are in hand, you know, blank
Oh, you
ones,
mean
so-
a blank one
Yeah, so we
showing
know you are,
that
who
we
you
listed
can,
the city
yeah.
of Alburnett on it? Gotcha. I see what you're saying.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Everything should be in there.
And I should have, Chris is working on our insurance, trying to find us the best rate for what we gotta have, but it's sweet. I don't know how much longer we can keep up with the insurance, cause it's a lot. So, anyway, any questions? I'll have everything around for Jen, the paperwork. I think our insurance, we can't pay, we finalized that like a couple of weeks before the event. It's finalized and paid, so that puts us around in the middle of July,
I'll be in contact with Chris, and I'll know that.
yeah, so. That's what I got.
Thank you.
Alright, thanks.
Wishing to speak? Okay. And we'll go ahead and approve the consent agenda.
I have 2 additional bills. One is one Craig turned in.
That is a gas fan.
Oh.
It's a big gas operated fan, sits mobily by itself. And then the other one is,
The other one's
that,
134 and 139, I got that one.
right, okay.
And then Jeannie turned in, her bill was $209.28 for the flower pots.
That's your thing.
Which included dirt, and then Marty's transportation, the skid work, and
Is
gas.
that the bill that we approved up to $500?
Mhm. And the other smaller pots that she wanted to do, they're not making them now, so she said it'll probably at least fall before they,
She'll spend the rest of it later on the.
but they have money for the pots, so it'd just be fall flowers, if they do fall flowers later on, which wouldn't be near as much.
Sure is pretty out there.
Aren't they pretty?
Yeah.
We get a lot of compliments on those.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, I haven't noticed. Chris, it's been dark when I've been getting home.
Go to the intersection, do this, though.
Yeah.
They don't let me down.
Oh, I see.
Is it right here? Can I make the motion? Or are we ready?
After
Oh.
yeah. Ready? Okay, yeah.
I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda, in lieu of adding 2 more bills.
The motion made, we have a second.
So move.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, city maintenance report?
Okay. Far as city water goes, everything's looking good. Chlorine numbers are good. We're running on well 2 this month. I did attend water treatment class at Kirkwood. It was 4 days, Wednesday, Thursday, 2 weeks consecutive. And so I should be qualified to take the test as soon as I can schedule one. Going to wastewater class starting next Wednesday, Thursday, and then the following Wednesday, Thursday. So once I get those 2 done, I should be able to test for all 3. The DNR doesn't feel like I need to take the water distribution class in order to have a pretty good crack at passing that test. So I'll study up, and the class that you sent me to in Ankeny was really beneficial towards the water distribution, so I think I should be okay with all 3 of those. Sewer system, I told you last month about Donald and Lori being an issue. We had municipal pipe in to televise. They checked sanitary sewer and it all was well. It looked good, nothing wrong there. When they got in the storm sewer, it's a 22-inch plastic culvert, and it is smashed almost the entire. It's the worst on Donald, not as bad on Lori, but in some areas it's down to about 8 inches. It's flattened out to about 8 inches of clearance. Their little camera in one spot just barely made it through the between. As the culvert crushed, it folded in at the top and it's folding up from the bottom, so there's a ridge in the middle, and it's only about that deep. And so as that is happening, it has also displaced joints where the pipe comes together, because this piece of pipe is smashed, the next one isn't so bad, and so it creates gaps. Pretty easy to see. We've got water entering and exiting where it shouldn't be, both through the cracks that it has made and also at the joints then, because some pipes are smashed more than others. I don't have the full video back yet. They were trying to get it here by now, but it's not here. So
Where's that located at?
the
Is it between the 2 streets?
no
Or
the
those 2 streets?
the storm runs along both streets in the parking. For example, there's a manhole right by the end of my driveway, and that's directly over top of it. So
That's why it's sinking in.
that's why it's sinking. The driveway end is sinking, and if you look at the street and you see the caved spots, that's got to be it. We're pulling dirt out because it's running outside the storm sewer. So then it leads me to believe, and this is my guess, but the infiltration problem we're having, I can't help but wonder if that storm sewer is crushed like that and sinking, is there a service? I mean, the sanitary sewer runs in the middle of the street, but the service lines from the houses are crossing underneath that storm sewer to get to the sanitary. So, you know, is there a service line that's opened up and stormwater? Because the numbers out at the lift station go up almost instantly when it starts raining hard enough. Just like right now, it's, you know, when your sump pump runs, it usually takes a little while before the sump pump starts to go on. So I'm not saying we don't have people pumping sump pumps into the sanitary sewer. I think we do. I'm sure we do. But for the number to spike like it does, I really feel like we're getting groundwater into the sewer, and that'd be a very good place to look. And that being said, I conferred with Matt on this. The only solution is gonna be dig that storm sewer up and replace it. Because it's smashed too badly to try and line or open up, you know, so, yes, sir.
Are we talking a section of this or the whole street?
I think it'll be the whole street, because there is no part that I saw, and they showed me almost all of Donald. I saw just little parts of Lori, but even with Lori not being as bad, it's caved in, or it's smashed down the entire length of both streets. It's just worse in some areas than in others.
Mine wouldn't do any good anyway, because all it's gonna do is keep getting worse.
Well, that's just it, and if you go with a different product in there, you're gonna have to do it all anyway, because that'll be a problem area where you try and join two different kinds of product together. Cause I'm assuming, and we won't know till we see what this pipe is, you're not gonna know if maybe they used the wrong type of product for that application. Maybe it didn't have the pressure rating. I don't know, you know, until, the sad part is when you get the backhoe in there, you might as well just be prepared to dig it out, put all new in, and then inspect those sanitaries, the service lines as you go across and go from there. Enter Matt, he's probably gonna be the one to tell you, give you some kind of rough estimate as to what that might cost and whatever, but, that's what I saw, and as soon as we get the video, we can, you know, take a look at it and see if there's any salvation to any of it, but I kinda doubt it, cause it's all smashed, so. And the guys from the televising crew, I asked them, what do you think? Could have been overpacked when it was put in, got it started, and then settling, took it the rest of the way. Don't know. And then the other thing to look at will be the cross, like, you know, there's storm sewer inlets on the opposite side of the street, but that's just a piece of pipe going under the street over to the main storm sewer line. That'll have to be looked at too. That'll get more expensive than.
Did they televise that as well?
No, they didn't, they couldn't turn the corner. There was, some of the worst damage was near those areas, from what they told me the last time I talked to them, they weren't done with Lori at that point, so maybe they did get one of them in. I think there's only one up by Dave's house and one on the west end of Lori, and otherwise everything, well, I guess it crosses down at the other end too. At the corner too.
At each end.
Yeah, at each end, so, you'd have two crosses there, but you're talking not only digging up the storm sewer, replacing it, but you're talking several driveway ends. There's what, nine houses per side, somewhere in that neighborhood. So you got driveway ends and the pipe, and you know, and possibly if you're going to go that far, the parts of the street that are caved probably just as well be put back into condition too.
You know, they're undermined.
Well, yeah, because you know they're undermined, and if you're doing the driveway end and doing the concrete work anyway, then you're probably looking at fixing some patchwork of the street to a degree. I mean, definitely isn't a street repave by any means, but you're gonna have some pretty good chunks. There's a 15 by 12 or so patch right in front of my driveway that'll be a definite candidate for it, and smaller pieces here and there. So, but so I guess question on that is, what do you want us to do? Have Matt work on figuring out some kind of cost estimate, or do we just I suppose we need to know if it'll go past the level where we have to bid. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Cost-wise?
the bid threshold is,
55,000. Then
I
somebody
think
else,
it's higher than that now.
well, and then somebody wrote in and said it's a repair versus a redo, then it didn't follow the threshold, which that would be a repair, wouldn't it?
I think the bid threshold still applies, even if it's a,
Okay. That was the answer.
okay. Well, you did check with the,
DOT, isn't it? What's the limits on it?
yeah, or just the, maybe attorney, but
It's either 55 or 76.
it's like, it's 70 something.
Yeah, sure.
How many feet are we looking at?
How many
Yes.
feet? Oh, I didn't even make an
I'm
attempt
just-
to.
rough
It's a
estimate.
long city block. I mean,
I bet it's 500 feet.
yeah, I bet that'd have to be
5,000.
close. So
Five
times
hundred
2.
feet?
It's not a mile.
500
lots
feet?
times
Got
how
more
wide
than
are the
500
lots?
feet.
Oh, I bet my lot's only 80 foot,
I mean,
but
yeah,
still, there's 9
maybe
Probably got
houses.
1,000.
80.
Yeah,
Nine
Pretty
lots.
close to 5,000 feet,
yeah,
1,000 feet maybe?
yeah,
of pipe?
probably.
I'm just saying one side.
I'm just saying, cause there's a rough estimate that you know, it costs approximately this much to put down storm sewer
Right.
per foot.
It's, well, what it takes, I mean, it's possible that you can line it, you know, the lining a pipe does give it some strength. But if it's already crushed, you don't wanna line it, because it adheres to whatever the shape of the existing pipe is, so. You can do point repairs and then line right through it, but if the whole thing's crushed, you're not gonna wanna do that, you're gonna wanna replace it from end to end. And I would think you'd be able to keep, I don't think we'd have to replace your storm inlets. I think you'd be able to keep those concrete inlets and just, go inlet. Does it go inlet to inlet, or does it go to manhole?
There is a manhole on my side, on Donald. I don't recall seeing one on Lori though. I mean, yeah, there is, because they were televising right in the middle. But they're on the edge, they're, yeah, now that you mention it, yeah, they had their camera
Might
down
not
in the
have to
middle.
do anything with the concrete products, it'd be just hooking into them.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
tie into each structure.
Is it on the south side of Lori?
No,
So is it on the north?
It's on the north.
It's on the north.
It's on the north.
And Donald's on the
North as well.
north too,
Yeah.
and the laterals are running,
Yeah, they were laterals
From the
run to the
south to
south
north.
to pick up the two inlets on the other side.
what is it? Is it approximate 300, what is it a foot? Do you have any idea? I know at one time they were talking, it was like, I can't remember, so much a manhole, and then,
For lining, you talking about?
no,
or
I'm talking about for replacement pipe.
For replacement pipe? Trying to think what. Again, 8 or 12 inch is probably like $50 a foot or so.
I'm talking about installed, is there,
Installed.
That's installed?
For plastic pipe, if you wanna go up to concrete.
Well, and this was 22-inch pipe.
Right,
So-
right,
so double it?
right, so it's probably close to $100 a foot, I'm guessing, for,
So you're talking-
for probably 24 inch or something.
Could be talking a couple $1,000, or a couple 100,000, or 100,000 if there's 1,000 feet, but.
If you're replacing it, you're gonna go over the threshold, I'm sure, because you're gonna.
Well, if you're gonna do
By the
you're
time
gonna
you
be-
do
you're gonna be cut-
concrete,
You're gonna be cutting out the curb the whole length, because I'm guessing it's close enough to the back curve that you're gonna be
Yeah,
cut a line the whole, which probably isn't a bad idea anyway, because it's settling in areas right there anyway.
Yeah.
So you could probably take 5 feet from the back curve in and make a cutting line all the way across and digging it up and then re-pouring it.
I was thinking it was gonna be somewhere in that neighborhood of like 200 to 300,000 to do that job.
Well, and I know if you drop a hammer on the end of my driveway, it sounds hollow. So there's, you can't let it go too long, because pretty soon you're gonna start losing driveways, and then you're gonna be forced to do it, because then somebody doesn't have access to their home, and, yeah, that kind of deal, but, so I guess, I need to know, should we just try and get an estimate together then, so you can decide whether you're gonna put it out to bid? Is that where we go on a project like this? Get some kind of rough number? Okay. Gotcha. So we will get busy on that, I will, no problem. Up,
We need to probably look at Lori too, to make sure to see what Lori's like.
as soon as I get the video back, I should be able to share it with Matt, and then you can take and decide if there's any salvage to any of it, or if it's both of them, or maybe it's, Lori's not bad enough, maybe we can get away with doing Donald and then wait a year and do Lori, or something like that, because I don't see the same problem on Lori that I do on Donald, but I do know it is smashed, so it's just gonna keep getting worse, obviously, so. But, do you need to make some kind of,
Say, I'll make a motion that Matt investigate what it would, for cost estimate. To look into this on Donald and Lori Drive.
I
I
would,
don't think you do.
I might,
Not-
I don't
not
think
today.
so. My thing is, I think we wanna wait until we get that tape back.
oh yeah, we
Yourself.
won't, yeah, that's the
Not
first
much
thing.
anything.
What?
If You wanna see the tape,
Yeah, I
and
won't be able to do
then,
anything
that's
to the
gonna
tape.
give you a better idea anyway.
Yeah. Cause they made it, I think, almost to the end, or at least to where you could see the end if you zoomed in, and I think that's probably why it's taking a little longer, cause they ran into a couple obstacles, and then also the damage to the pipe made it hard for their camera to crawl all the way through it, so. I watched him ram his way through that one narrow spot, he just backed it up and he'd hammered again, and I thought, that's pretty expensive camera to be jamming like that, but he said, oh, we do it all the time, don't worry.
Mr.
Okay, buddy.
Mr.
So,